If you want to see how to convert your wide data to a long data frame and vice versa, this video is for you. So we'll be using these libraries, Tidyr, dplyr, gt, and ggplot2. So let's create a wide data frame. So I'm just using a very simple data set. Let's complete the script and then we'll start dissecting it one by one. So we'll be converting to long format, and then again from the long format, we would like to convert it back to the original wide frame as well. Okay, so let's start dissecting this script. So let's run these libraries, Tidyr, dplyr, gt, ggplot2. So let's create our wide data frame. And let's see it on the screen. And now let's run this long script. So it creates a long data frame. Now let's go one step at a time. So this is our data frame. 2 names. And the score for math. And the score for science. So it's a wide data frame. Each subject has 1 column. And we'll be going to use this script to convert this into a long frame so that all the subjects are in one, all the score are in another column. So we'll be saying columns are maths to science, and then for each of those scores, we get 1 line each. So Alice has 2 lines, one for the math score, one for the science score. And Bob has 2 rows, one for math, one for science. So instead of 2 lines or 2 rows, we have 4 rows. But the columns have been reduced. All the subjects are in 1 column. So let's go reverse now. So pivot wider is a command to use that. So saying names, pick the names from the subject column. So the subjects have become 2 different columns, and pick the values from the score column. And once we do that, we get something like this. This was our original data frame. So this is one example. Now the next example is, what if we have multiple values in the columns? For example, instead of just the scores, we have the score for math, score for, or the grade for math, score and grade for science. So 2 sets of data. So we'll complete the script again, and then we'll start dissecting it one after another. So we'll convert this into a long format. You would notice that there is a slight complication in that, or we are using the regex to do that. We'll see the power of that. And then once we do that, we'll convert it back to the wide or the original data frame. So this is our data set, 4 columns, score, grade for math and for science. And this is how the output would be after we have run the long script successfully. So let's dissect it. We have this original data set, which gives us this table output or data frame. Now let's see what the pivot longer does for us. So it has score underscore math, grade underscore math, score underscore science, grade underscore science. So using that name, we can use a trick. And the trick would be that using the pivot longers, we are saying columns equals minus name. We don't want to touch the name column, which is Alice and Bob. We leave it as it is. Names 2 should be subject. The column name would be subject, and we'll be picking the values. That's why we're using dot value. And then we are saying the name separator is underscore. Remember, in our names, we have score underscore math, score underscore science. So that gives us an output like this, which is 2 columns, one for the score, one for the grade. So the next question would be, why do we need this data at all? So let's see how that solves our problems. So in this example, I'm going to create another data frame very quickly, which has some sales data, some months, product A, product B, product C. So 3 columns for each product and their values. So let's finalize our data. How do we plot this data? Because each column has 1 product, we'll have to create 3 lines. So geom line for product A, for product B and product C, which is quite complicated. What if we had 20 products? So we would actually use the long data in such a situation. We'll convert this into a long format similar to what we have seen before, and then we'll run this ggplot statement, and the difference would be that we'll say group equals product, color equals product, because all the products are in one column now and their values are in another. So it makes it much easier. And we can also make use of the legends on the right hand side because we have given color equals product. So the other advantage of using this long data is that, let's say we have to summarize this data. So I'm grouping the data by product and I'm saying summarize the total sales or the sum of the sales. With long data, it's so easy to do that. But if you had a wide data frame, imagine running that on each and every product, product A, product B, product Z, and so on. So I hope you found this information useful and practical. Thank you very much for watching it, and I'll see you in the next one.